Guys, I got to show you something before we get into today's topic. I know it's been a while, but just let me yap about this real quick. We were getting groceries last night, and I had to get the essentials. I got one of the new Blockies Galaxy version Wave 8 figures. So, those are the little mystery boxes, but I got the Sharkticon. How cool is he, man? He looks awesome. I'm so glad that I got these, and I think this is probably one of the best waves they've had in a long time because every single one is like a banger. And whenever I was putting this guy together, I was like, oh my gosh, can you actually transform it and make it like his little shark alt mode? But you really can't. Like even when you move his legs and his arms to try and make him look like the shark, it just doesn't look right because he's supposed to have the little claw hands, but obviously that is not a little claw hand. But anyways, I think they're gonna make the alt mode probably in the next series. Just because, I mean, they've done it with the Dinobots, but usually with the Dinobots, they do robot mode and alt mode within the same wave. But, here we are. There's the Sharkticon in his robot mode, and he looks freaking sick. So, yeah, really cool. But today's topic, I really wanted to talk about community within collecting. So, if you have any sense of community in your life, you know how important it is to you. And I would argue that everybody in the world is looking for a sense of community. And what I mean by that is they want people that they can count on, people that they can talk to, people that they can work together with, people that they can serve with. There's numerous aspects of community that I think are very beneficial to our lives. And it's the same thing with the toy space or the nerd space. Sometimes you gotta find somebody you can talk to. And I'm not saying like to come to them with all your problems and everything that you're going through with in your life, but just people that understand you. I'm not saying that all collectors are the same and all people do the same things because that is furthest from the truth. But sometimes it's nice to talk to somebody that kind of thinks similar to you or maybe has a certain like a niche or a thing that they're into that you're also into as well. It really helps. And the only reason why I bring that up is because I have found a new sense of community within the nerd space literally through online communication, whether that's Discords, social medias, the YouTubes, the TikToks, whatever you want it to be. It's really awesome because, like when I was growing up, in elementary, everybody liked all this stuff. You know what I mean? They like superheroes. They like Star Wars, Transformers, Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, Pokemon, all that stuff. I mean, we were into it all. Tech decks, you name it. But like after elementary, it was just not cool. Like it was not cool to be in those things and you were made fun of for it. And, I had a hard time processing that. So, obviously as I got older, I tried to hide this this part of me, from others. And, I didn't want people to know that I collected action figures and, got Funko Pops and stuff of that nature or Legos because, that just was childish. And, now I think it's culturally more acceptable because now, like, the nerd space is, like, larger than it has, like, ever been. People aren't being made as fun of it as much now. I'm not saying that it definitely still happens, don't get me wrong. But I just see, I guess people are more comfortable with it. And, that's cool. That is great. But the reason why I mention this is because growing up, yeah, did I know other nerds? Did I know other people that were into the same things as me? Yes. But not on that level to where we could talk about it, comfortably and actually have an engaging and, I would say, like good discussion over it. It was normally just like we talk about it for a bit and then switch over to something stupid and hilarious that had literally nothing to do with our lives or our day. It was just like, kids being kids, goofing off, doing stupid crap that makes literally no sense. But anyways, like it got to the point where it was like, we transitioned from, cards and action figures and Legos to video games. And, I like both of them. but a lot of people frowned upon the collecting aspect. But now that I've talked to people online, this is one of the perks of social media is you can actually find some really cool people and actually make some really cool friends. And that's awesome. I know a lot of people are scared of that as well, but there are some genuine people out there that are just really awesome. And then what's really cool is there are people that have literally met in person after initially meeting online. Like, that's cool. And it takes a lot of trust, but that's really awesome that, there are moments like that in time. Like, how cool is that? Who would have thought of that, years and years ago? So, like, that's one cool thing about social media. And, one thing I want to say to you guys is, like, put yourself out there. Like, I'm not saying be like, oh, here's my $80,000 collection, and you got to do it this way because this is just the coolest, and I don't miss a single... Like, no. Just, like, put yourself out there by, like, engaging and talking to others if you want to be a part of some sort of community. Now, I'm not going to say that every person you meet is going to be the greatest experience of your life, but what I'm saying is you could be one step away from making a new friend. Somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can really talk to outside of the toy space or the nerd space. You know what I mean? That's really cool because a lot of the people that I've talked to, not only do we collect figures and we talk about Star Wars and whatnot, but like we even talk about music or we talk about our jobs, it's whatever, or the food we eat. Like, it's cool. Like, being able to have like just dude conversations. And like, I think that's super important. It's super beneficial to us to be able to express, our passions and to be able to talk to others about it. I think that's really freaking cool. So like, I really just, I guess to sum it all up, find your sense of community. Like, find that group of people, your bros, like find that, because I have like different groups of bros, you know what I mean? Like, now that I have this new group of bros that I do like these workouts and devotionals with, and that's great. I never thought that would be like a me thing, but I feel great, and they were so welcoming, and now I feel so amped because it's like I'm strengthening my relationship with God. I'm taking better care of my body. I'm actually working the muscles. I don't have any of those, but I'm working the muscles that are hidden under all of those layers. And it's great. It's really awesome. So like, yeah, like, find your community. Like, I can't stress it enough. It's super important. Okay? And I bring it up to you guys because I know that, like, this is probably why you're here, is mainly like this kind of stuff. But it doesn't have to be about this. Find people that you can learn with, that you can grow with, right? And people that will like bolster you up, that will make you into a better person. I don't know if you guys have heard the saying, but like the 5 friends you surround yourself with will define you. So like the people you hang out with, they represent you in a way. You know what I mean? Because we are influenced by other people's decisions. Sometimes we are influenced by their actions, and sometimes we let that get to us, and it gets the best of us. But if you surround yourself with people that you look up to and people that you admire and respect, your life will change, and that is a sense of community. So whether you find that with your family, your friends, or a hobby, your job, like anything extracurricular, that's awesome. So really, I just encourage you to find that sense of community, find those people that you can count on, find those people that you can relate with, that you can talk to, and also it's great to have people that can hold you accountable. And that is people hear accountability and they normally get scared, but usually that's good. Sometimes you need people to keep you in check whenever you're doing something stupid. Sometimes we take it the wrong way and we get offended or hurt, but it's actually just people being kind and loving, because true kindness is showing a genuine care for you. So yeah, I definitely think that you should find a community that cares for you, that loves you, and you show that same love and affection back. Okay? So yeah, I think that'll be all for this video, guys. I know it's been a while, but I really appreciate you guys for sticking around and tuning into all the videos. Hopefully I can do some different things soon, you know, some more exciting things, and I can actually start to edit things and make things a little bit more interesting instead of me, you know, yapping in front of a camera. I know that probably gets old after a while. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a great and wonderful weekend. God bless you all. Just know I love you. There's other people out there that love you. Don't forget that. And remember, life is truly a wonderful gift. And whatever trials and tribulations you may be like going through, just know it's a blessing. It is a gift that we can have things like that in our life. So yeah, just keep trucking on, push through, and just know that there are better things ahead. Okay? Just know that. So yeah, I believe that'll be it. I'm going to start spinning some records, and we're going to do some chores around the house. We're going to wash some dishes, and I think I'm going to have this little guy help me. So yeah, I believe that'll be all, guys. Again, remember, stay frosty.